Hey y'all, just a little construction update if you're into checking that stuff out as we're developing our property. And just a little perspective, just so you know. Um, like myself, I started this whole development process and building. We're actually building a commercial kitchen for manufacturing our jade nectar tinctures. And so this whole process, we started this like 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And only now are we finally building this stuff just because it's been such a disaster. Um, Sort of working through the planning departments and everything. But if we were growing hemp without the THC molecule in it, piece of cake, we would have been done. By the way, if you apply for a hemp license for an acre, you can actually, I already did. I grew an acre of hemp a few years ago. That took 48 hours, zero inspections, zero land improvement, zero anything. Just with the ag department, I applied for it, sent them a few pieces of paperwork, $850, and I was within 48 hours, I was approved to grow an acre of hemp. On this property, 10,000 square feet of cannabis, the exact same plant. It just happens to have the THC molecule in it. I'm now 10 years into this, and then check this out. I have this and this. Now, in all fairness, I am building like a commercial kitchen, but the hemp stuff I could have done under the cottage food processor license, which is kind of like for baking cookies and things like that out of your house, which California has a license for that. So I wouldn't have to, if I didn't have THC molecules, there's a very good possibility I wouldn't have to design any of this or pay for any of this or anything. But whatever. And this started, 10 years ago. Yeah, so check out this trench. So this is the trench from our tank, our emergency 60,000 gallon water tank that's going to go down to our fire hydrant and emergency sprinklers and such for our building, our commercial kitchen that we're building. So anyway, yeah, the kitchen. Anyway, that's a long, nuanced discussion on details and fire code. But technically, yes, hemp, agricultural product, fairly easy. And then if you're doing it small scale, like a craft or a cottage kitchen, which people have in California for baking cookies and doing things like that and farmers market stuff. And we're kind of that scale. Yeah, you don't have to do any of this stuff, but once you add THC to the mix and you're in cannabis land, yeah, you end up with this. So there we go. I still believe in this plant, but I had no idea what I was getting into, and now I'm like so deep into it. There's whatever, no turning back. But this is infrastructure for my place. I live here, so I'm trying to justify it in my own head that I haven't gone completely insane, but in reality, I think I'm going a little crazy here and probably need an intervention, as I've said before. But yeah, it's kind of like I've already committed to this stuff. We've done all the plans and everything. I'll show you the building later too. But just so you know, back in 2013, 14, 15, and when Prop 64 was first, being talked about, and we were planning for that. Back then, I was running a small medical collective, not a dispensary, but actually a medical collective, and we'd meet at the Grange Hall, the local Grange Hall, and we were actually doing cannabis juice. So I was making raw cannabis juice and then freezing it into cannabis juice cubes. So we'd take all the leaves, puree those, and then pour them in ice trays. And as I said before, that cannabis juice Really helped me recover from a really pretty severe case of Lyme disease. So once I had that experience, I was like, oh my God, it was like cannabis gave me my life back. So then at that point, I kind of felt an obligation to share that information with other people. So then we started this collective, and we were just giving away for free these frozen cannabis juice cubes or puree cubes, sort of like pesto cubes, and people would pop them in their smoothies in the morning or drink them however they wanted to. And all of our medical collective members were like little church ladies, or people with migraine headaches, or people who'd been in car accidents with chronic pain, people with cancer folks, people with MS, Parkinson's, and everything. And we were just seeing like amazing results. And when you see that and experience it firsthand for myself, but then seeing all these other people benefit, it's almost like you have the moral obligation just to share that information and try and help connect more people with cannabis, because you just know it can help people. So we were never trying to convert anyone. It was just, if people wanted to explore it, we were trying to provide it in the cleanest, most natural, best, most effective formulations. And the cool thing is with cannabis juice, because it's raw, THCA, CBDA, and other acidic cannabinoids, you actually don't get stoned, you don't get high. And most of our collective members, they didn't want to get high. A lot of them were little church ladies who were scared of cannabis, but they were kind of, they were in pretty desperate situation, because a lot of them had like autoimmune issues that conventional medicine doesn't address too well. So, and then all of a sudden they found cannabis, and it was just really cool seeing these people, a lot of them very conservative, didn't understand cannabis at all, thought it was the devil's lettuce, and then suddenly it becomes the plant that provides relief and improves quality of life for them. Anyway, I'm rambling, but that's where this all started, and that's what I thought kind of this whole exercise was about, and that's why I've been so like deeply invested in it, and I'm still going crazy with it, building out all this infrastructure, because I believe in it, and I think it can help people and make the world a better place. So that's what we're doing, but it's hard to tell these days, especially after, as you're aware of, this recent veto of the medical patient shipping bill that we proposed to solve the medical patient access. It's hard to tell if the state or the governor or DCC actually cares about that anymore, and cares about helping the people most in need, the medical patients, where cannabis is the only thing that seems to help them. We were trying to fix that. I thought that was a similar goal that the state cared about. They say it. I can show you all kinds of declarations and legislative decrees and everything, and the Blue Ribbon Commission in the beginning of that. That was one of the main core principles and tenets of the cannabis industry. Medical patient access. Make sure our medical patients continue to have access. So we provide a solution. 100% of the Senate, 100% of the Assembly said yes. And then it got to the governor's desk. By the way, I'm not trying to poke anyone in the eye with a stick, but the governor has been deeply involved with cannabis from the beginning. He was the chair of the Blue Ribbon Commission as lieutenant governor. You read that report, and it's all about medical patient access over and over and over. So we provide a solution because there is an access problem right now, and then it got vetoed, even though the entire Senate and Assembly said yes. So anyway, weird times, folks, weird times, but cannabis is beautiful. Still believe in the plant. We just got to get some more of the humans on board to make sure we're helping the people who need the cannabis love. All right. Anyway, oh, I'll show you some more trenches. All right, another trench. This goes up to our garden, so that's coming off the irrigation trenches or the irrigation tanks. And then we're starting to trench right here, and that's going to go all the way down to the hydrant. So we're getting the gravity. We avoided having to have a fire pump to pressurize the waters because we have enough gravity to actually get the proper flow for our sprinklers and fire hydrants. So anyway, there you go. That's had no idea this is what being a cannabis operator has turned into these days. You thought you were just a little hippie homestead farmer up in the hills, and yeah, and we're just getting started with the infrastructure. But anyway, it's a journey. We're having fun. Peace.